Good evening, Yorktown, and welcome to the town board meeting, the first of 2022 here on January 4th. I hope everyone had a wonderful new year, and we're very excited to begin this 2022 year here in the town of Yorktown. If everyone could please join me and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll have Councilman Diana lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and if everyone could please join me in a moment of silence as we remember and pray for all of those battling COVID-19 tonight, all of our frontliners who continue to stand admirably and responding to all of our community's needs. Of course, our volunteer ambulance corps, our volunteer firefighters and our professional firefighters here in Yorktown, our police department, all of the doctors and nurses in our urgent care centers and in our hospitals. If we could just say a quick prayer for all of them as we continue to battle this latest surge. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, well, we're going to do introductions. And again, I'll just introduce people as I see them on my screen. We have Councilman Ed Lachterman. We have Councilman Tom Diana. We have with us, I'm going to save the two new folks for last if we can. We've got our town clerk, Diana Quas, and Adam Rodriguez, our town attorney. I thought I saw our highway superintendent, Dave Paganelli, in the waiting room. I know he's going to be on momentarily, but I'm very excited to welcome two new board members here to the town of Yorktown and welcome to their first meeting. I wish it was in person, but here we are virtually. First, I'm going to introduce Luciana Howitt, our councilwoman. Luciana Howitt, for those who don't know, is the founder of the Connecting Wellness Center located right here in Yorktown Heights. She has over 15 years of high-end commercial and residential real estate experience. And in 2012 to 2015, she supported clients in the development of 3 restaurants in Manhattan and points of sale for a cashmere company from Rome to various spots in the United States. From her work at a high-profile law firm to engaging in business development and site planning, she continues to review codes and stay tuned with the business know-how and building needs of the area. Luciana was appointed as a family case manager in 2018. She's a member of the WIN charity, the Trevor Project, and works closely with her children's school PTA. She's earned a BA from NYU and continues to study at the Institute of Core. Now you're going to test me. Core Energetics to complete her practitioner license. So it's great to welcome Councilwoman Luciana Howitt to the town board. And also we're thrilled to welcome Councilman Sergio Esposito. Sergio has lived in Yorktown since 1994. He's dedicated much of his time to making Yorktown a better place. He currently serves, but is soon to be moving on as the president of the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce and is a volunteer firefighter. And he knows that, of course, we all know that he has been Yorktown's top business advocate. As president of the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce, he was the chief advocate for the needs of the Yorktown business community. He's a small business owner through Comprehensive Computers, Inc., which is an IT consultant firm. And he understands how impactful local government can be in allowing community businesses to flourish. So we welcome our two new council members here tonight. It's great to have you with us, and we're looking forward to a productive 2 years. We'll go to reports. We've got a couple of things to share tonight. Let's go to the handy-dandy Community Impact Dashboard. Sharing my screen here. I hope it shows properly. We know that the numbers aren't, frankly, great. We know that for a fact. It's not just here in Yorktown. Here in Westchester County, the Hudson Valley, the state of New York, and across the country. We are now at, this is again as of yesterday, there was a delay in the file that we get from the Department of Health. So that's just to take a step back. These numbers are provided to the town by the Department of Health. These are all the positive cases that have been reported to the Department of Health. Right now, as of yesterday, and we haven't received the file yet today, there were 599 new cases. Needless to say, that number is quite significant. I believe the county executive used the term explosion when describing the active and new cases that we've seen come across in Westchester County. And again, Yorktown's not immune to that. Active cases, 1672. Needless to say, these are the highest that we've ever seen in our community over the last 2 years. So again, we don't share this information to fearmonger. We don't share this information to scare anybody. We share the information just as a matter of fact. And this is the situation here within the town of Yorktown, within the four walls of Yorktown. And it's, I feel, important for people to know what's happening. And I believe the town board also feels it's important for people to know what's happening right here in our own community. I do want to point out, if I can, just a couple of important links. The Westchester County Testing Center right here. Yeah, it is. This is the link to make your reservation to get tested at the county center. Please know that they are only allowing those who are symptomatic or those who have a known exposure to come test at the county center. That's because testing is at such a demand. We had, we had Derek Anderson, Executive Director of Northern Westchester Hospital, join me for an update last week. Northern Westchester Hospital and Northwell have also a testing center over at the Chappaqua Crossing site right off the Sawmill Parkway. You can schedule an appointment there by clicking the link here. Also, other links that I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of. We also have the CareMount link, which is right here in the town of Yorktown, in addition to the vaccine clinics that we continue to put on. And I want to thank Kira Brunner for all of her work with those. We had our 65th clinic today up at the John C. Hart Memorial Library. And we have our 66th clinic on Thursday back at the Cappellini Center. But in addition to that, CareMount has a free vaccine clinic every day of the week right on Veterans Road. You have to make an appointment, cannot walk in, and the link to do so is right here on that bottom left box, CareMount COVID vaccine appointments. So you can click that and make your appointment to schedule your vaccine right here in the town of Yorktown. Also, I want to just remind our businesses, this blue link down here is for businesses who are in need of KN95 masks. As a reminder, the county received an allotment from the state. The county then provided the town with an allotment of KN95 masks. We handed out quite a bunch at the Yorktown High School on the morning or the afternoon of New Year's Eve. And again, we thank Dr. Hatter, the Yorktown Central School District, and all the volunteers who made that a success. But for our businesses who are in need of masks, you can click here and you can submit a request to the town, and we will do our best to get you your masks as soon as we can. So that is the latest in COVID here in Yorktown. I think it's important to note, excuse me, in Westchester County, and these are some statistics that the county executive shared today on his update. There are over 27,000 cases of COVID in Westchester. Our previous high, which was in December, our previous high was 12,000. So we've significantly leapfrogged that number with the Omicron variant. We've seen specifically in the month of December, we went from on December 3rd in Westchester, there were 2,724 active cases to now 27,000 active cases in the town of Yorktown. Again, just a staggering number. The one that I know a lot of people ask me about is hospitalizations. The county executive explained today, and I just want people to remember, we don't get notified as the town of Yorktown, here's how many people you have in the hospital. We don't know that. What we know is on December 3rd, there were 84 people hospitalized in Westchester County from COVID. As of January 3rd, so it was December 3rd, a month later, January 3rd, that number is now 444 hospitalized. So in the last month, we've seen a significant increase in hospitalizations. The last week, we've seen a very, very significant increase in active cases. And so that's the current situation again, both in Yorktown and the county. The other number that people ask me a lot about is fatalities. And again, our thoughts and prayers with everyone who's lost a battle with COVID. Countywide in November, we lost 7 people to COVID-19. In December, that number was 60. So again, just seeing that growth in all the wrong categories when it comes to COVID. I was joined by Dr. Lou Cole, who is the chief safety officer over at Caramount. And I apologize for the dry throat. Dr. Cole has been with us several times, provides a lot of great information for us. We talked a lot about the importance of the vaccine. We talked a lot about the difference between the Omicron variant, the Delta variant, and the fact that we just keep learning new things as each variant emerges. And so it is very, very true that someone could actually get the Delta variant of COVID, think that they have a natural immunity to COVID, but they can still get the Omicron variant of COVID because they are two separate variants. So just really interesting stuff that we continue to talk about. That conversation is being played on the Government Access channel. It's on our Facebook page and and on YouTube. Excuse me. The only other thing I wanted to mention on COVID is in regards to our ambulance corps. I've said it a couple of times now. I want to repeat it again. Our ambulance corps respond to emergencies. Requesting to be taken to a hospital just for a COVID test, unfortunately, is not considered an emergency. However, we are seeing, and it's not just here in Yorktown, we're seeing it everywhere. People are so frustrated with the testing situation that they are, when they feel under the weather, calling 911 to have an ambulance respond to their home, and then requesting to be taken to the hospital just to get a COVID test. That is not the best use of our emergency service personnel. Councilman Esposito is a member of the fire department, and also Councilwoman Howitt's husband is a lieutenant for YVAC. So we hear these things straight from them. Really important that you remember, please, and again, we're not trying to downplay anyone's symptoms, but emergency personnel are supposed to be responding to emergencies, not be, in essence, a taxi cab service to the hospital for a COVID test. I understand that testing is on high demand. We're still working with our partners to try to make FDR available as a large-scale testing site, and we are waiting for the governor's approval for that to come to be. As for a few other items, I wanted to personally thank the water department. They have put in quite the day today, and Councilman Diana can probably speak more towards the details of this. But these guys, they were out at 2 o'clock in the morning dealing with a significant water main break in the parking lot of the Chase Bank on 202. That was not fully repaired until about 4:45 this afternoon. And they worked around the clock, not taking any breaks, and just really taking a significant situation and doing a great job with it. So I wanted to thank them personally for their great work in addressing that situation. And Councilman Diana will probably, I said, speak to this more, but where the break was is the lowest point in Yorktown. So it actually had a full system impact, meaning all the water from the other parts of town kind of drained down, funneled down to this one break. So people in other parts of town, you may have seen discoloration, you may have woken up with low pressure, but that is a result of where the water main break was. But a great job to the water department. And then lastly, just two quick things from our Parks and Rec department. You're going to be up at Granite Knolls this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Our HESP is going to be up there. HESP, as you may recall, is the company we awarded a bid to put up the solar carport at Granite Knolls. They're going to be up there doing some testing. So if you see some guys in the parking lot digging some holes, it's okay. We know about it. They're there doing testing to make sure that the ground is actually viable for their product. So that's going to be occurring Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm sure Councilman Esposito is going to talk about this in his report. But if anyone wants to see a bunch of crazy people jump in some really cold water, 9 a.m., Sparkle Lake. I said I would only do it if people sponsored me, and unfortunately everyone took that and they've donated some money for the Friends of Parks and Recreation. So I have to jump in now into the lake, which is now, by the way, there's a nice a coat of ice over it as of this morning. So it's going to be a fun morning. But thank you to Councilman Esposito and Bob Giordano and Jim Moderano for organizing that. With that, I do want to wish everyone a happy and healthy 2022. I genuinely believe we're going to have a great year. It's going to be a transformative year for this community. I'm very, very excited to be serving you as your town supervisor. I'm thrilled to be working with this town board. I think that we're going to bring some great ideas to the community. I know that the challenges that we're facing right now are intense, but I know our character here in Yorktown is even greater, and I know that we're going to overcome this. We've faced each challenge together, and we've overcome them each time during this pandemic, and I know we're going to get through this latest surge. And that concludes my report to the town. I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Lachterman for his report.
All right, thank you, Supervisor Slater. So I'm sort of going to piggyback on what you said. The other day I was asked, as most of you know, I'm a member of the Yorktown Lions, and the Lions have this January decided to try to provide some lunches for some of our first responders and some of the urgent cares that have been being overrun. So I was asked to help deliver to the police department and YVAC. So, we actually had a conversation with both Luciana's Rick and Rick Davin regarding the calls to the ambulance corps. And, one thing to stress is they were getting calls on both seizures and then they were getting calls for COVID. And they were delayed to the calls for seizures based on the COVID calls. So, look, we put our loved ones in danger when we're calling to try to get a test. So, I really did want to talk about that. I'm glad you did, Supervisor Slater. But please keep that in mind. You could be endangering a family member and one of your friends in the community by looking to do that. The other thing that they had mentioned, and I will make sure that to sort of repeat this, anyone that is going to do the polar bear plunge into the cold water, they do recommend that if you have any type of heart condition, it might not be the best thing for you. They will have an ambulance on duty. So Matt, there's your excuse if your heart's bothering you a little bit. But I see you running, so maybe that doesn't work for you. Sorry, buddy.
Thanks.
They're really being cautious and just once again to reach out and say thank you to them and for all they do in the community, because it's all volunteer at YVAC, and these guys have our back, and Kenny Rundle and the water department, without a doubt, these guys, the worst conditions that we deal with are the conditions that they have to go out in and work in. That's what causes all these water main breaks. They do phenomenal work, and next time you see someone from the water department, please make sure you thank them, because they do keep our water flowing. That's it for me.
Thank you, Councilman.
Actually, just welcome Luciana and Sergio to the board.
Thank you very much, Councilman. We'll go over to Councilman Diana.
Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope everybody had a great holiday season. I want to welcome Luciana and Sergio to the board. Here's for a smooth transition. We're here to help. As the supervisor had said, we had that water main break from the wee hours of the morning until, I guess it was about 4:30 this afternoon that they finally wrapped it up and got it all tied back together. It was a considerable break. And once again, as the supervisor said, that was the lowest point, one of the lowest points for our water system, which is basically fed by what is known as head pressure, which comes from the pressure on the tanks that are elevated. So that's where it was emptying out. So all of your water that came down from the hills and so on and so forth, like let's say up like from the top part of Stony Street, from Quinlan Street, everything's starting to come down and was filling that hole. And I guess at one point in time we had almost 3 feet of water that went across the road, and then there was some that was filling in the brook in the back of where Chase is. Unfortunately, Chase's parking lot got a little messed up, but everybody's got water now. And there's one thing that I want to say about the water main breaks. Folks, please be patient. these guys are out there. They're going to get it done. You're not going to be without water, but for maybe 8 hours. But generally, these guys get out there and it's done within a couple of hours, and you're good to go. You may have a little discolored water. Don't do the white laundry, please. That's my first suggestion. Otherwise, have a big bottle of Clorox there, and run your bathtub for a little bit. That should clear all that sediment out. If indeed you do have a problem the next day, call our water department, and they will be happy to assist you. But guys in the water department did a great job, you know, and our working departments do a great job. Our highway department, our water department, the highway department's out there in the worst of worst. And just because you don't see them when it's snowing, it doesn't mean they're not there. Okay. Because, think about driving in a snowy blizzard or a real bad snow condition. They can't see where they're going with the snow blinding them. So they have to pull back a little bit and wait for the snow to subside a bit so that they can continue to make our roads safe. Our water department helps out the highway department when we have snow conditions. And our working departments are some of the best. We have our parks department that comes out during the snow conditions. Our sewer department people come out and plow. And one department helps another. It's a hand in glove operation we have here in the town of Yorktown. So folks, please be patient when we do have these natural things that happen that can't be predicted. Snowstorm, you got a pretty good idea, but don't mess with Mother Nature. I want to say thank you to everybody that came out for the mask handout at Yorktown High School. Our employees, I want to thank our police officers who did a phenomenal job with the traffic directing. Our own comptroller's husband was there, Officer OC, who was, now I'm gonna date Matt a little bit, his DARE instructor.
He's my DARE instructor, and honestly, he was a lot of people's DARE instructor in this community, and they all remember him, and they all love him. So I don't mind you telling people that OC was my guy.
Tommy, he was also my daughter's DARE instructor.
Well, I know he wasn't yours, Ed.
No, I'm too young for that.
And yeah, but anyway, thank you. Thanks everybody so much. I mean, our cops do an awesome job out there. They really do. And I can't thank everybody enough that came and handed out, and the orderliness of the people that were there, and the way we had them or the way the cops had them serpentining through. It was once again hand in glove. It worked out beautiful. Lastly, the polar bear plunge. You guys are out of your minds. Okay? Let me just make that real clear. All right? Heart attack? Are you kidding me? There's an old saying, go skydiving. There's no reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, okay? Number one, there's no reason to jump in icy water. Number two. Okay, I concludes my rant for tonight.
For the record, this was not my idea. Just for the record.
For the record, I was told that people would donate more money if I kept my shirt on and didn't go in the water. So.
Yeah, you don't want to see that in the Speedo.
All right, Councilman Esposito, why don't you follow up with that? Follow that up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Happy New Year, everybody. I just wanted to make a quick announcement about my position with the chamber. I know that my effectiveness as an elected official on the town board would not be well served were I to remain president of the chamber. And although I intended to step down sooner, forces of nature have prevailed, and I will be officially stepping down as of January 18th, just to facilitate a smooth transition. However, I will always remain an active member of the chamber, and I will be on the board, of course. I've also tendered my resignation from the ethics board as well. Okay, and I sent the letter in for that. As far as the polar plunge, it's January 8th. It's going to be fun. I heard Dave Paganelli is going to make it. It's going to make the sun come out that day. Or he's going to throw salt in the lake, so this way it's actually water.
As long as he's wearing that hat, I'm good.
Oh yeah.
You see the face there? You see that face?
We're going to need to borrow that.
That's after you jump in the cold water, okay?
So it is January 8th. It starts at 9 a.m. And Jimmy Martirano Jr., our superintendent of parks, is going to be providing hot chocolate and
that'll help.
Warm blankets. And the money goes to Friends of Parks and Rec, which is going to facilitate repairs in our parks and stuff, and that kind of stuff. So it's a great cause. There is a way to donate. You could Venmo. If you go on, it's like a weird link. If you go on my Facebook page, Sergio Esposito, you'll see the post there, and you'll be able to click and send Venmo in. There's also a raffle that they're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it looks like it's taken a lot of. It's moving forward, and people are excited about it, except for us. And I got news for you, Mr. Supervisor. Donations or not, you were going in. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
So anyway,
I want my lawyer there first, and then we'll talk about it.
I also want to thank everybody for frequenting our local establishments during the holiday season. You could see the mall was actually I haven't seen it that packed. There were a lot of people shopping, and it was great to see that. I know we had a campaign and through the chamber with the town with the chamber, and I think it was effective. So I think that was a great initiative, and it took real good force and stuff like that. Lastly, it's a privilege to be in such great company, and I want to thank everybody for their votes and getting me here. And I look forward to working for you, all of the constituents of Yorktown. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. And last but not least, we have Councilwoman Luciana Howitt.
I don't even know what I can say. I think you guys have covered it all. I also want to thank everyone. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I know that we all are going through this unknown stage, and although it's challenging, there's a lot of joy. We are Destination Y for that. I'm really excited to see what this new year is going to bring, not only for the actual businesses that are starting to launch, but also just for us as a new board. Thank you again for your support, and I will be at the plunge, and I thought it was going to be fun, and I'm starting to second guess that it's not going to be fun.
Are you out of your mind?
Well, there
will be fun. We'll make it fun.
Cold water therapy. I mean, there's real therapy in cold water. We're going to find it.
Did you just volunteer?
No.
I've already signed up.
Oh, jeez.
And I was hoping we would all wear tutus or something, but I don't think anybody wanted to do that. No? Okay.
No.
Have a great Tuesday, everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go to our highway superintendent, Dave Paganelli, looking very angry in that photo. Dapper?
That is my angry winter face. Yes. So I would like to wish all our residents a healthy and happy new year. Welcome our two new council members, Luciana and Sergio. Look forward to working with you all. And we have a little weather advisory for this evening. Actually, tomorrow morning, weather advisory is from 4 a.m. this morning until 10 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. And we're expecting some ice, which is always a really good time. We have our people coming in at 4:30 a.m. to be able to try and get out there as the ice starts to fall. We've been doing a lot of drainage work. Today, we are correcting a perennial icing issue over on West Scora. We took care of a dangerous perennial icing issue where Baldwin Road intersects with Underhill, and it was unfortunately right where people would accelerate to go out onto Underhill. And if they'd be sitting on ice, that would have been dangerous. So I'm very happy about that. And that's pretty much it. A healthy and happy new year. Hoping for the best in 22. So thank you all. And I'll be hanging in here until my items come up. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to go over to John McMullen, our Poet Laureate. Good evening, John. Happy New Year.
Dangerous perennial icing issue where Baldwin Road intersects with...
Johnny there?
I am.
Great. We're ready for you. Happy New Year.
Oh, I'm listening to Dave. Happy New Year, and I hope all is well. And welcome to the new Congress people. Let me see if I can get off this thing. It's running behind you, and I'm listening to Dave.
Yeah, yeah. No worries. Take your time.
I'd rather not at the moment. Okay, he's gone.
Well, why don't you, if you can pause it, because we can still hear it in the background.
2022. Welcome to everyone. The last 2 years have been a national disaster. Extreme polarization, pandemic, deaths, tragedies, tornadoes, mass shootings, contested election, rioting, yet not in my town. My town has had 2 years of civil town management, opinion stated, not invective, respect between Republicans and Democrats, effective communication about the pandemic, regular virtual town meetings to inform citizens of issues, and turn that off, an orderly election process. In short, Yorktown has been a model for the state and the country. Let's keep it that way and hope they learn from us. Happy New Year.
John. Happy New Year, John. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Okay, we're going to go on to some resolutions. As a reminder, this is a organizational meeting, so it's a bit different than our normal regular town board meetings. And so we do have resolutions that we'll go through. We'll start with the personnel resolutions, and we'll take them together. We're going to reappoint Patricia Caparel as town comptroller. We're going to reappoint Barbara Corsack as a receiver of taxes. We're going to reappoint Town Clerk Diana Quast as the Registrar of Vital Statistics. We're going to reappoint Deputy Town Clerk Maura Weisletter as the Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics. We're going to reappoint Town Supervisor Matthew Slater as a Marriage Officer. And we will accept the resignation received from Sergio Esposito from the Board of Ethics. Take those first.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Luciana, if you want to unmute for these, this way we can hear your vote. That'd be great. So we'll take the next couple. Great. We'll take the next couple together. Authorize the supervisor to execute an amendment extending the contract with Bleakley, Platt, and Schmidt LLP to provide municipal law services to the town of Yorktown. Authorize the supervisor to execute an amendment extending the contract with Thompson & Bender for community branding and communications services, and authorize the supervisor to execute an amendment extending the contract with the LaBerge Group for grant-related services. We'll take those three together. We have a motion.
So moved.
Second, except for the first one, I don't know if we want that particular attorney involved.
I thought we were keeping the land use guy. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy up in the corner, we get. Anyway, aye.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we authorize the comptroller to create a capital project for building improvements at the Yorktown Highway Garage to be reimbursed by state and municipal grants. We're just going to deal with this together. We will then award a bid for the boiler replacement and installation of a ventilation system at the Yorktown Highway Garage. And we're going to be awarding that to S&L Plumbing and Heating Corp. And we'll do those first. So we'll have those two resolutions.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. And then we're going to authorize the town clerk to advertise a rebid for the seat replacement at the Yorktown Stage Theater. We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motions carry. So we're going to go through organizational resolutions. We're going to authorize and direct the supervisor to pay regular biweekly salaries of all elected and appointed town officials. We will approve the mileage rate of 58.5 cents per mile for town officials and employees who use their own vehicle in performance of official duties. will direct the supervisor to submit the fiscal report to the state comptroller and town clerk within 120 days after the close of the fiscal year. Will authorize the town comptroller to make refunds for corrections of error up to a maximum of $2,500. Authorize the supervisor to make an application to the New York State Division of Youth for state aid for a recreation and youth service grant. Will authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Norwest. Authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with the sports clubs, being Shrub Oak Athletic Club and the Yorktown Athletic Club. Will authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with the senior clubs, Jefferson Owners Foundation, AARP Chapter 3297, the Shrub Oak Senior Citizens Club, the St. Pat's Seniors, and the Yorktown Senior Club Chapter 1. So we'll take all those together.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we're going to designate delegates to the New York State Association of Towns meeting. I will serve as the voting delegate to represent the town of Yorktown, and Councilman Diana will be the alternate delegate to the aforementioned meetings. We'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we're going to designate the depositories for the town of Yorktown, which are listed. We're going to authorize blanket authority for the supervisor to sign contracts up to the amount of $12,500, not to exceed $50,000 in a calendar year. We will authorize the superintendent of highways to purchase equipment without prior approval in an amount not to exceed $7,000. We will designate the Yorktown News and the Journal News as the official newspapers of the town. And we will designate the 2022 meeting dates of the town board with the full calendar listed in the agenda. I just wanted to note that the November 1st regular meeting may be subject to change depending on the political calendar. We'll take a motion.
Can you read all those dates, Matt?
No, I can't. Do you want to?
That's okay. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Maybe we'll have the town attorney read them next time. What do you think about that?
That's good.
And do it ever so carefully not to miss a punctuation.
And I would like to thank, I think our town clerk makes that up, and I noticed that that all the Jewish holidays were taken care of, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
I was going to ask you about that, Ed, if it was...
Already looked through them, yep.
Great. Let's see. Supervisor Matthew Slater will announce his personal appointments as follows. Mrs. Jenabel Castro serving as the executive assistant, and Councilman Tom Diana as deputy supervisor. Of a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any
Thank you,
opposed?
Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman Diana. And then also Supervisor Slater has appointed the following liaisons to various boards, committees, and commissions, which are all listed. No, Councilman Lachterman, I will not be reading them out loud.
I do not see ethics, though. Is that was that scrapped for a liaison?
Yeah, I believe we did scrap that for a liaison.
Okay.
Well, we need to, I guess we'll take a motion on this.
So moved.
So, yeah. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I believe, if I may just interject here for one moment, wasn't generally the town attorney the liaison for the ethics board to the town board?
Technically, he's the ex officio member.
Right.
Adam, I don't know if you want to speak on that.
No, that's correct. I mean, I'm a member. I'm a voting member.
And I can tell you're thrilled by that, so thank you.
That's his thrilled face.
Councilman Esposito, I know you serve on the ethics board. Anything you want to add in that regard?
No, I think honestly, I'll go with what you guys want to do, but I think a liaison wouldn't be a bad idea. But we're fine. Let's play it this way and see. There hasn't been a liaison, so it doesn't. It's not really any kind of significant change. It's actually what we've done.
Okay, so we're just following past practice, and I know that the ethics committee, and this is something that we need to focus on over. I think hopefully sooner rather than later. But the ethics committee does have amendments to the ethics code that I know have been working on for the last couple of years that we can hopefully see. Maybe that's one of them.
They also have a vacancy.
They do. Thank you. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Did we take a motion on that, Diana?
Yes.
Yes,
Did?
we did.
We did on the liaisons, yes.
Thank you. And then lastly, monthly reports. We have reports from the building department, finance department, the receiver of taxes, and the town clerk for the December 2021. And we'll take a motion on accepting those reports.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Nice.
Aye.
Any opposed? And with that, if there's no other business before the board, we again welcome Councilwoman Luciana Howitt and Councilman Sergio Esposito. We wish everyone a very happy 2022 and looking forward to a very productive and exciting year. Then we will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Good night, Yorktown. Thank you.
night, all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.